Welcome to BizTech's Leadership Conversation Show. Our topic for today is fueling growth to innovation. And in this conversation, our guest today is Sailesh Grover. He's the Chief Digital and Innovation Officer at Hong Leong Bank. And we will explore why innovation is key to business growth and how companies can embark on this innovation journey. Now, Hong Leong Bank Berhad is a regional financial services company based in Malaysia with a presence in Singapore, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Cambodia, and China. Now, to tell us more, welcome to the show, Sailesh.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Sailesh, for a start, give us an overview of your role as Chief Digital and Innovation Officer at Hong Leong Bank. What does this entail?
So I think in a nutshell, I manage a team that is key to enabling the next generation of banking experience for Hong Leong Bank. And our focus is very clear, right? We've got two things that we really pride ourselves upon. One is we want to be digital at the core, and that's for all markets and everything we do, not just customer facing, but even employee facing. The other bit, which is our brand promise, is built around you. Right? So everything we do, the key is how do you build whatever you build around the customer. And the customer could be a consumer customer, a customer could be a corporate or business customer, or if you're building something for the employee that does all these things day in, day out, it could be a staff member who's also a customer. So that's in a nutshell, what me and my team do for the entire organization.
These are exciting times in digital, particularly in the banking and financial services. You've got digital banks, you've got fintechs. So the incumbent banks are faced with challenges for multiple size. Tell us about what are some of the biggest challenges you faced in this role, and you've been here for about 4 years.
The biggest thing that that comes in the way of getting stuff done is access to the right talent in the country. Not because it doesn't exist, but because there's only a finite set that's available within the country, and there's only so many new that get churned out by universities and things like that within Malaysia. And if you look at banks, if you look at non-banks, if you look at all the other smaller players and the new entities that want to play a banking role or want to have an aspect of banking in what they offer to the customer, they are all fighting for the same talent pool. Right, so that to me is some of the biggest, or one of the biggest hurdles that we all face. The second one, obviously, is the evolution of and the availability of the right infrastructure. And by that, I mean, depending on which country you look at, and when you compare it with Malaysia, do you have access to third-party data? Do you have access to, let's say, digital identity as an example? And then you can go down the value chain, because the moment you have certain types of capabilities available within the country, you can actually do a lot of things that are digital first in a way. And that can help you accelerate go-to-market. It can help you product innovation. It can help you with customer experience innovation, so on and so forth. So those are some of the things that come in the way of us being able to run fast enough.
Now, Sailesh, Hong Leong Bank was one of the pioneer banks to really embark on digitalization. And your journey started about 5 years ago with the digital at the core strategy. Tell us more about this journey and where are you at currently?
So we've had a great ride, to be fair. We have a long way to go still, but if you look at, across all the markets, especially Malaysia, which is our biggest market, we are a digital bank. We can do everything from onboarding customers to, helping them transact, to engaging customers, all 100% digitally. Now, you could then peel the onion and go deeper and say, for which type of journeys we still have more work to do, and which types of journeys are ready, 100%. And that's where, like I said at the outset, we have a lot of more work to do. But today, if you want to build a relationship with Hong Leong Bank, you actually don't need to come to the branch. You're welcome to come to the branch because we have 200 odd branches in Malaysia. But you could be in the comfort of your home and use our applied HLB app and become a customer in no time.
Now, what percentage then, Shailesh, of your customers actually are digitally enrolled?
So as of today, 85% of our customers are onboarded digitally. Now,
That's a very high number for a place like Malaysia.
That is correct. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. It's a combination of three primary avenues where how customers come to us. One, they download the applied HLB app, right? And then they do the process online and they become a customer of ours. If you do end up in the branch, we don't, and if you're a Malaysian national, we don't ask you for any paper. The 100% of the onboarding happens in less than a few minutes using an iPad. The third, if for whatever reason, we are out and about, and let's say we are in a mall or there is what we call MDS or mobile deposit specialist who can actually open a branch in a Starbucks or in any location where the customer wants to meet us, whether it's the customer's office or home or wherever. The only thing I don't do using the iPad is dispense cash, and that's a matter of choice, right? ATMs are there, customers can do cash. But between these three, the makeup of all customers we onboard 100% digitally without any paper is 85%.
And that's fantastic. How has that, how has COVID-19 and the last 2 years or so impacted your digital transformation? Did it have the effect of accelerating that transformation?
I think more than acceleration, what it helped us feel good about is the strategy we started off with, 5-6 years ago, which was digital at the core, was the right one. We didn't plan to do it like that because we were anticipating COVID, right? We were just doing it because we thought it's the right thing to do. It's where the consumers and the businesses would move to. And when COVID hit, because we were already invested, because we were already building the capabilities, we didn't really have to do anything radically different. Okay. We just kept doing, and we just went on the agreed roadmap, went on with the execution, and we did more within the time, but there was no interruption to us being able to onboard customers, us being able to service customers, whether the branch is shut or not, you could still get on business as usual.
So Shailesh, did that then have an impact on your net promoter score as a bank? Because obviously customers were able to continue almost seamlessly because you were already digitally ready.
So I wouldn't say just because of that, the NPS, I would love to say that, but it's not necessarily true. That's just one aspect of how we deal with customers. Overall, we have seen plus 42 increase uplift in net promoter score, which is actually quite phenomenal. And this is over a span of a couple of years. So yes, net promoter score has gone up. The customer satisfaction numbers have gone up across channels, across products. We still, have instances where there's a hiccup here, there is a hiccup there. We've realized one thing which, is not obvious, but, when you look at how consumers and how businesses interact with us, if for whatever reason, let's say in the past couple of years, we had to shut down a branch, nobody complained. No one complained. But if for whatever reason, the online service was, let's say, unavailable for 5 minutes, everybody complained. So that tells you, the customer's expectation, the customer's changing, channel preferences, and the customer's frustration when something online is not working versus when a branch is completely shut. So all those things, if you look at it, like I said, we have a lot more to do, but overall, the CSAT has gone up tremendously overall the NPS has gone up in the right direction. And we also have some areas or opportunities to improve upon.
Now, how about on the other side of the spectrum, at the back office, what sort of efficiencies and savings have you been able to derive from your digitization journey?
I'll use a couple of examples, right? And I'll sprinkle a few numbers here and there. If you look at onboarding or acquiring customers, it used to be a couple of hundred, whichever currency you pick, depending on the market you talk about. And for markets where we have now 100%, let's say, digital journey to onboard, it's gone down to low 2 digits, right? And that's a massive. We didn't do these things to, for monetary gain alone. We did it because it's the right thing to do. We did it because it delivers the customer the right experience. We did it because technology now lends itself to being able to do those kind of things easily. And as a result, the byproduct is customer satisfaction, NPS, cost of acquiring and servicing has all gone in the right direction.
But I want to move to another area which obviously has helped you in terms of being a fertilizer in this digital journey. You've been a very strong supporter of startups, the startup ecosystem. We're doing this interview as part of a partnership as well with the Malaysian Business Angels Network, which you've been a strong supporter. Tell us about your role in the startup ecosystem, especially with your Hong Leong Bank Launchpad program as well.
So, I mean, this started around 2018, and it starts with us recognizing that we can't go get at everything alone, and there is a bigger ecosystem to tap into and to enable as well. So we've got a couple of things we do. One, obviously, as you said, we've got the HLB Launchpad, which is our accelerator program that allows us to do a few things. One, we use that as a channel to contribute to the ecosystem and grow the ecosystem and play our part in the communities we work in. The second is, in the process, we then come across some exciting startups or some exciting value creators who may be of relevance to our customers. In which case, then we work with them to mature it to the next level and then take them, as an offering to our customers through our channels and some directly through them, depending on what they have to offer. And thirdly, it gives us an opportunity to expose our staff members or our employees to newer ways of doing things, to look at what's out there other than what we do within the bank, to also then see how other players are doing certain things differently to ensure speed to market, so on and so forth. So that's mostly around HLB Launchpad. The other things we do, which we started again, I think 2018, 2019, is hackathon, datathon, a whole bunch of things like that. One obviously is to again tap into the broader ecosystem, whether it's university students or school students or professionals. But the other is to make sure that we use that as a channel to identify talent or future talent that we want to hire within Hong Leong Bank. And it's so much better than doing the traditional competency interviews and things like that, because right now there is no script you can follow. You have 24 hours, you have a bunch of problem statements, and you have to work on those problem statements in a very pressure intense environment. Whether you make it or not make it is a function of how you think through, how you work under pressure, how you work with team members that you just met and you formed a team to work on something together. So at the end of the datathon or a hackathon, we actually give them offer letters instantly.
Interesting. So has that been a good source of talent?
It's been a very, very unique way to attract talent. And we've got a lot of interns that have come through that. We've got a lot of graduate trainees that have come through that. And we've got a few experienced talent that has come through that program till date.
And how have you collaborated with the government ecosystem, perhaps the likes of Magic, MDEC, Cradle, and so forth, and contributed to this? Because obviously, market access is what they look at you for.
So we work with all the names and more. And we work for obvious reasons. One is to contribute to the broader ecosystem and obviously to tap into it as well. And we've had, I would say, mixed success. There are some where we do a lot, and we've gained a lot, and they've gained a lot, I hope. And there are others where, I would say we still have a long way to go. While they mature and we mature, and we figure out a way to tango without stepping on each other's toes. It's a journey, right? It's not that you sign a deal and then overnight magic happens and stuff will all fall into place. So it's a journey, but it's been a very, very positive and rewarding journey for everyone involved. And we've seen a lot of stuff along the way over the last 4 or 5 years that we've been engaged in this process.
Now, Salih, looking ahead, 2022, 2023, what are the opportunities and challenges that you see lying ahead for you in your role?
I think there's a lot of opportunities the way I would look at it. There's a lot of opportunity in how the landscape will evolve. Right, and by landscape I mean newer players coming in, newer product ideas coming into the market, and frankly the regulation evolving, and a lot of the data sets that we've been talking about. We are in discussions with like other banks with our local regulators on what are the different building blocks that we need to put into place within the country to then have a truly digital economy thriving within Malaysia. So it's a very, very promising, dialogue that's currently underway, and you can only have upsides as we make progress. I would say all those things will then help us do a lot more banking and non-banking, or a blend of value-added services that we can offer our customers within Malaysia and within the region. Right. When it comes to challenges, obviously any opportunity has two sides of the same coin, right? So there are some things that are you could badge as challenges, but I would say talent is going to continue to be a thing to focus on. So we also have, as a result, we recognize that we won't be able to double, quadruple talent overnight, because everyone's going to go after the same lot. So we now have tie-ups with various universities, and we've started our in-house what we call a graduate training program, which is a journey where we take fresh grads from various local universities and shape their thinking, get them to a place where they can then start to add value to Hong Leong Bank and to the broader Malaysian economy.
It's been a fascinating conversation. Sailesh, I learned quite a lot. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with?
I think there is a lot that's happening across the globe. Whether you talk about fintech, fintech has become a fashionable thing to talk about. Although I would argue, the first fintech was probably, if not PayPal, even before that, there was a company I was with in 1996-99. It went public in 1999. It was called NextCard in San Francisco. That was the company that invented how to do real-time, straight-through credit card application and processing, online. There was no mobile at the time.
And Sailesh, I'm old enough to actually know about NextCard.
Oh, there you go. So brilliant, yeah. But the good thing is, with the evolution of technology, with the evolution of how consumer behavior and corporate behavior is changing, all the building blocks and all the different pieces that we've been talking about are growing and falling into place the right way. So I would say it's very, very exciting times ahead for the region, for the entire I would say financial ecosystem. And we look forward to doing some great things as we progress.
Shailesh, thank you very much for taking your time to come on the show.
Thank you so much.
Now, we've been speaking to Shailesh Grover, the Chief Digital and Innovation Officer at Hong Leong Bank, on BizTech's Leadership Conversation show as part of our partnership with the Malaysian Business Angels Network. This video and podcast will be on our social media platforms as well as our website, www.biztech.asia. Please like and subscribe to our various platforms. Thanks again for tuning in.